rivalry against Canada, and how you expect things to be tomorrow night, and the welcome, or if we can call that a welcome, that you're going to get from the Canadian fans tomorrow night?
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be an electric atmosphere. Crowd's going to be into it. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun for all of us involved, but kind of my first experience of USA football, so I just can't wait to get going, and it's going to be an intense game.
What's your earliest memory of this rivalry, maybe as a fan or watching?
Yeah, I mean, just the Olympics. You think back to the World Juniors, but this is just a little bit more intense, faster, and stuff with the best on best. So in Canada on Saturday night, I don't think it gets better than this.
Having Canadian teammates for NHL team, you guys sort of did you each poke the bear a little bit about it, or?
Yeah, before we left Tampa, we're talking about it a little bit. Haven't talked since we've gotten here, so I'm sure it'll be fun seeing those guys out there and battling with those guys, and obviously good friends of mine, so that'll be a fun time.
What are the strengths of this Canadian team that you expect them to show up?
They got high-end players, fast, skilled, play the right way, and just got to stay above them all night, because you give them time and space, they're going to make a lot of plays. So we just got to make sure we're ready to go.
How much do you come into a game like this expecting Sid to take the spotlight or do something center stage?
Yeah, I've played alongside of him for a long time, so you kind of expect him to. He's going to have his best in these moments. So you just got to make sure you try to contain him as much as possible, and he's such a good player that he's gonna have his time and space. So you just got to make sure we do our best.
Around and putting yourself out of position. When it's there, and that's you'll know when to take it. But yeah, we want to be playing hard as a decor. We want to be playing physical and hard, and trying to limit time and space as much as we possibly can, and and then when we transition and we can get involved, then it'll be time to do that. Yeah, well, I mean, it's like playoff hockey. That's probably the best thing I can compare it to, is when you're trying to just toe that line in a pivotal game in the playoffs or something like that. Like you know that you can't cross it and take a penalty, put your team in a tough spot, but you just have to read the game, and that's what we'll do.
What makes the rivalry special, Charlie? What makes this rivalry special?
Just everything that's come before us probably is what has set it, set it up, and what we've grown up watching, and for a lot of us what we've played in, and whether it's World Juniors or other events, it just doesn't get any better than this. So I can't wait. This is gonna be amazing.
What are some of your biggest games that you've played against Canada?
World Junior, got to play in the New Year's game one time, or maybe it was after Christmas, the first go around, and then it was the New Year's one for sure in Toronto, and then the gold medal game here. World Championships, we played them for a bronze medal. U18s, we played them in a semifinal. Had a lot of contests against Canada, and
shutting down Canada's power play. How do we even prepare for that?
Well, it's to be disciplined, and we were pretty good last night. We kept our emotions in check, and it's going to be a whole nother level tomorrow. And it's key to, you can't kill 4 or 5 penalties. You gotta try and stay out of the box, or try and keep the game even.
Brady was saying last night that he's looking forward to playing the villain tomorrow night. Do you feel like the team can kind of embrace that too, and what can it do for the team to play that kind of role?
Yeah, well, one thing about the Tkachuks is it's fun to be a part of playing with them. You see why Matthew won a Stanley Cup last year, and Brady's a heck of a captain. Those guys have a tendency to drag others into the fight, and if they say something, they play a certain way, they're gonna drag us all into that, and that's great. That's great for our group, and in terms of playing the villain, I mean, USA Hockey. All of us have played for USA Hockey before. We're familiar with this feeling, playing against Canada, in Canada. It's it's usually how it goes, and I think we're up for the challenge.
You also, sorry.
No. I think it was nice last night. We got one under our belt and a regulation win, but this one's a big one and biggest of my career, and I can't wait.
I just remember it was when he was like at the end of his career and he had just lost all of his teeth, so he had a hard time talking and yelling at us because he had no teeth from his last year. But he was awesome, and anytime you're a young kid, you have an NHL player like that coaching you. You're pretty excited to play for them. And I know for Matthew and Brady growing up, having him as not only their dad but their role model and kind of coach in a way, it's he helped develop so many players out of that St. Louis area. Clayton Keller, the Tkachuk brothers, a lot of guys. It turned St. Louis into a bit of a hockey powerhouse. So just a lot of fun memories with their family.
You guys were booed last night. You're playing Finland. I'm sure you can expect what it's going to be like tomorrow night. A couple guys I talked to said they really feed off that. Like, how do you guys feel sort of being the villain in all this drama?
I think it's exciting. I think it's we expected that being here in Montreal. It's an unbelievable place to play hockey, and anytime you're in the Bell Center, it's usually rocking and it's a lot of fun. So I know obviously being in Canada's home country for this game, we're probably going to be booed pretty heavily, but that's part of the fun. That's what makes it entertaining, and we're kind of the bad guys, I guess, but it's a fun role to play, and I know the environment tomorrow is going to be probably the most intense I've ever been a part of. So it's these are the moments you dream about, and it's exciting just to be a part of it and playing these games, and it's stuff that you'll take with you the rest of your life.
What and also we talked. You talked about the intensity of the game, and there's been a lot of talk about teammates sort of putting friendships aside for this game. What's going to be like going against Mark tomorrow night in like an atmosphere like this?
It's going to be a lot of fun. Like you said, he's a great guy. He's my teammate in Vegas, my captain, and unbelievable player, unbelievable guy. But we're both competitive, and I know Mark's gonna be battling against us, and he's not gonna have any friends out there as well. It's one of those situations where it's just about honoring the game, and it's the competition. It's something special to be a part of. You're representing your country, and we want to come out on top. They want to come out on top, and may the best team win. So it should be a lot of fun playing against him tomorrow night, and I saw he had a good first game with them. So I know it'll be a challenge playing him for sure.
Is there something like the Boston Brotherhood of players? Does it exist? Or?
I'm sorry?
Like a brotherhood of Boston players.
Yeah.
Is this something like happening
I think Boston's always been a hockey hotbed, like some of these other places, Minnesota, New York, Michigan, and I think anytime you're a part of that, there's a lot of players that can come out of one area. You have a history with them, you grew up with them, you're friends with them, so I think anytime, for me playing with Jack, who's another Boston guy, we go back a long ways, and the Tkachuk roots, it's always fun for us and our families.
Very good there in the league, is it?
I think he's just so smart, right? There's a lot of plays that he can make where you wouldn't think guys would be able to make the play, whether it's on his backhand or puck protection or whatever it is. He's so smart with the puck and able to make those in-tight plays that a lot of players can't make in the league. And so that's one of the things that makes him dangerous is he doesn't need a lot of space to make those plays, and you think you're on him, but you're not actually on him. And so that's one of those things.